If you are new to the channel, then subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for further notification. Okay student, welcome you all to this new lecture in intermediate level where you are solving previous year JEE main questions. So in this lecture we will be solving 4 questions starting from question number 1 to question number 4. Okay, then let's solve these questions. Limit n x tends to infinity. Sorry, not x, it is n tends to infinity. Please do this correction. Limit n tends to infinity 1 to the power p, 2 to the power p, 3 to up to dot dot dot. This one is equal to how much? Now particular this type of things we will learn it in detail in definite integral. One formula is there. I am using it right now, but I am not explaining that one. This explanation will come in the topic of the definite integral. So for now, those who know, we can directly apply, you can understand. Those who don't know, just bear with me for some time. You remember this formula, how this is coming, that we will explain in that case. So if you write it in this way, limit n tends to infinity, then you can write it r to the power p, summation r is equal to 1 to infinity, and then divided by 1 n to the power p plus 1. You can write it because this is what? 1 to the power p, so you can write it this 1 to the power p, then 2 to the power 3, so this is r. So and r is changing from 1 to n, sorry 1 to n. So last one is, that's why n to the power p, and everything is divided by n to the power p plus 1. So you can write it in this way, limit n tends to infinity, summation of r by n to the power p, where r is gone from 1 to n, and this 1 by n, 1 extra n will be there. This n to the power p, I brought it there in the denominator, 1 n is there, that I kept it there. So for those who know definite integral, you know this is just explain, this will just give the definitions of the limit of sum of definite integral, where we always treat r by n as a x and 1 by n as an dx. So it will look like integration of 0 to 1. How this is 0 to 1 coming, that also we will explain in that definite integral. And this is your x, so it is x to the power p, and this is your dx. So it look like this. So how this is coming, for those who know, they can directly apply. For those who don't know, we will explain it in definite integral in the limit of sum problem. So it is very useful. So whenever you see limit in terms of a infinite series, this one is also there, third one. Limit n tends to infinity and it is a series, so you think of definite integral format. So it is 0 to 1 x to the power p, so it will be x to the power p plus 1 by p plus 1 from 0 to 1. If you put 1, then it is 1 by p plus 1. If you put 0, then it is 0. So your answer is 1 by p plus 1, that is your option A. Now if you come to question number 2, limit x tends to infinity this. Now if you put x infinity here, so it is 1 plus a by infinity, b by infinity, that is 0 0, so it is 1. So it is 1 to the power infinity. If you put infinity, you can see it is the format of 1 to the power infinity. So for 1 to the power infinity, I told you one shortcut, so it is very useful. So this was the limit, it is given e to the power s square. Okay, let me calculate first, then I will equate it to e to the power s square. So I told you, if you put infinity and then check. So it will look like 1 plus 0 to the power infinity. So if this is the format, then what was the idea? So the answer is e to the power, limit will be there as it is. So power into, this is your power, this is your base, power into base minus 1. That was the shortcut. You remember the shortcut, or you see the theory one more time. Then if you multiply with x, it is limit x tends to infinity, though it will be 2a by x will be get cancelled, and here it will be 2b by x. So now if you put infinity e to the power, it will be 2a, it will be b by infinity 0, so e to the power 2a, this which is given as e to the power 2. So you can say your a is equal to 1, and b can be any number because b has no significance in this derivation. You have seen b is already gone, so b will be already 0. Whatever b it is, there is no problem, but b should be a real number. B cannot be infinite, so infinity by infinity, then it will become undefined. So b should be any real number. So that's why a is n, b is any real number, that is your option B. Now if you come to third one again you see this is a series involving and infinity and tends to. So it is also, there is a tendency that it may also go to definite integral. So let me write it using that series format. So what is the series here? Here n tends to infinity. Don't get confused with my n and x. So it is 1 by n square sec, 2 by n square, 3 by n square, then it is largely n by n square. So you can write it r by n square, and you can vary this r. And here it is 1, so it is 1 square, 2 square, so it is n, there is n square. So that's why n square by n square it became 1 here. So you can write it in this way. This is summation of r is equal to 1 to n. N square is always there everywhere. This is r into sec square, so you can write it in this way, r by n square outside, and inside it is sec square r square by n square. So this is the series. So you can write it in simpler, because you have to take 1 by n outside. So you take 1 by n outside, then it becomes r by n and sec square r by n whole square. So what I told you, this r by n will go to x, this is 0 to 1, this is dx, this is r by n is x, r by n is x, so it is sec square x square. Now I think you can easily integrate. If you take those who know integration, it is easy. For others, we will come to integration in this after some time. After this one, we will go to differentiation, then integration will come. So x square, you can take 2x, if you take x square as a common, limit as a different integration of substitution by method of substitution. So it is 2x dx, in differentiation of dx1, 2x d1 dt is equal to 1. Or you can send this dt, or your x dx is equal to dt by 2. You also change your limit. If your x tends to 0, then t tends to 0. If your x tends to 1, then t tends to 0. If x goes 0, then t goes 0. If x goes 1, then 1 square is 1. So limit remains same. So it is 0 to 1. X dx is dt by 2, and it is sec square t. And sec square t, you know, it is 10t, and it is 0 to 1. So it is 10 1 minus 10 0. 10 0 is 0. So this is your answer. So that is your option A. Now if you come to fourth one, if f r2r is a positive increasing function, it is continuously increasing function, with this is given, f3x by fx is equal to 1, f2x by x is equal to how much? Okay, so because it is continuously increasing, so fx, whatever fx, suppose this is my function fx. So what will be the function f2x? It will be here, because suppose x is here, x is equal to 5, for x is equal to 5 here, but if you write x equal to 5 here, it will give the value of f10. What was f10? f10 was there, so this is f2x, the earlier one, because it will give at 5x, it will give the value, at x equal to 5, it will give the value of f5, but at x equal to 5, it will give the value of f10. So f10 will be obviously more, because it is increasing, you can see. So if it is increasing function, so your fx is obviously greater than 0, so that should be greater than 2x, that should be greater than 3x. So 3x will be more than 2x, 2x will be more than x, because it is increasing. So if you are increasing the value of x, then obviously it will be more than your earlier values. Here x is, now if you put x equal to 5, it will take f5, it will take f10, it will take f15. So obviously f15 will be more than f10, that will be more than f5. And everything is up because it is positive increasing, so that's why it is starting from 0. Because you need f3x by x, f2x by x, that's why I am dividing each one by fx. Because it is positive number, you can divide by any positive number. Inequality will not change. Now you recall your Sandwich theorem. If you take now limit x tends to infinity 1, so everywhere you take limit x tends to infinity. So this one is already 1, you know, and this one is given 1. So this is the Sandwich theorem. You recall your Sandwich theorem. This one is sandwiched between these two, or we say it is Quetelet theorem, or what was the other name, because it is pinched between these two. So because this is also 1, this is also 1, so the middle one should be also 1. So that was the Sandwich theorem, very important theorem, I have told you. So recall this one. So this should be equal to 1. From what theorem? Sandwich theorem. You eat sandwich as tiffin, so that sandwich. If you like the video, then press the like button and please give your valuable comments in the comment section.